react to this little skateboarding documentary, getting hit by cars. It's actually just a conversation between two like more well-known skaters. Well, I guess more like obscure skaters, but they're pretty well known anyways. So let's get into this. All right. So I'm gonna watch from halfway through because I got about halfway through, and I want it to be my genuine reaction. So yeah, let's go ahead and start from here.
The most fucked up gnarly falls and making it eloquent.
Yeah.
Like you like some of your falls have been so incredible over the years. Um what museum was it that you
So actually, like these guys don't even look like skateboarders, but they are. So these are just some older skateboarders, but the guy, like for some context here, because I know about skateboarding. I did it for a massive portion of my life.
You need to put a couple orange cones in this thing.
I know, right?
You can just fucking set them out.
That fucking word legend and hero and like all these things.
Okay, that randomly skipped. That's kind of weird. Anyways, no problem.
you are miraculous.
So basically, for some context as to who these people are, the guy on the left, the guy on the left is a skateboarder from like the 80s, 80s, late 80s and 90s, and he's known for being a little kooky, a little weird, and and not in a bad way, like just very unique individual. And then likewise, this guy on the right is more of a pretty artistic, I would say, in person. He's probably one of my more favorite skaters. Like he's an individual. Both of them are really. And the one on the right has a pretty like well-known brand in skating, and I'm just kind of bored right now. I'm just kind of watching, seeing what I think about this. Gonna give my opinions on the video. To be totally honest, okay. Like I don't like this guy on the left. I think he's just kind of kooky, and I can't really take him serious. If you watch his skateboarding, it's like a joke to me, and I don't really understand the appeal. But he's pretty like pretty like I guess um I don't even know the word, just like people seem to really like him. And the guy on the right I think is really cool, and he's pretty creative, and I'd say he's one of the more like his own character more than anything, more than like anybody in the skate industry. He's got his own thing going on, and it's on a different level than everybody else, that's for sure. I'm kind of drawn to people like this, for me personally. All right, let's watch this. Maybe there will be something interesting in this.
At taking the most fucked up gnarly falls and making it eloquent.
Yeah.
Like you like some of your falls have been so incredible over the years. Um what museum was it that you fell down the stairs while they were open?
I'm gonna guess New York.
Was that me?
The Opera House.
That was incredible. You purposely, the opera house is open. This giant set of marble stairs. It's like 30 stairs.
Yeah.
And you're at the top, and people are walking up and walking down, and you fell all the way down the stairs purposefully.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was fucking art. It was so masterfully done. And people were so tripped out and didn't know what to do. It was, man, it was incredible. It was just so.
See, like that was like, that's what he was talking about, I guess. And I guess they were recording, but that was like pretty stupid in my opinion. Like, I don't know. These people are probably busy, and I think New York's already unpredictable enough. They don't need some guy like clowning around like that. But I mean, it's cool. Like I get it. Like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of random, but like me looking at it personally, like from what I understand in my current times of the world, I think it's pretty stupid. So yeah.
I got lucky I didn't get arrested or something. You can't do stuff like that.
But no one could prove that you didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
You did it on purpose because you did it so good.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, the Opera House in Paris. But you know, it was the stairs are rounded.
Yeah.
They're not totally
Right.
square like that, so they're a little bit rounded. So when I was falling down, it was a little bit easier on my body.
Like, he's really describing the conditions for this stunt, and it's like so stupid. These guys are cooked.
Right. No. I could definitely see that, but to your average civilian,
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
crazy.
or to see it in person, was so shocking.
Yeah.
It was so incredible. Speaking of, have you been hit by a car?
Yes.
Be someone that has been hit by a car more than you.
Yeah.
So hit by a car has like two different meanings. Like, hit by a car, like on foot, or hit by a car when you're in a car. I mean, I think they're meaning on foot, and like getting hit by a car on foot has never happened to me. Maybe close, but never happened to me. Went out skating, went out doing whatever. I've never gotten hit by a car. I've been very careful with that. Yeah, and I've gotten in a car accident. It's very traumatizing. I don't recommend.
I got hit. I was on the West Side Highway, or the West Side.
Yeah.
Right by where the World Trade Towers were.
Right.
There's a girl on her phone. She makes a right turn. I'm on my bike, and she hits me. And I go down, and I tried to get up, but there was these two guys that said, "Don't get up. You're hurt." And I was bleeding, and I didn't realize I was cut or like that.
Never let a man tell you that you're hurt or not hurt. Only you know if you're hurt.
I was hurt, and my bike was thrashed, and she was on her cell phone, and she had a guy in the car with her, and she was like super young, and I felt bad because I didn't want to she was on her phone, she wasn't paying attention, she
Right.
turned right into me.
That's
But I
how it
got 7
happens.
stitches. It was
Usually the
crazy.
other one is not paying
I
attention.
think I remember that. I think I do remember that.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was in my leg, and I had to go to the emergency room, and they stitched me up. But it was, yeah, I don't know. And then another time, right where the Whole Foods is on Houston.
W Whole Foods. I love Whole Foods, by the way. Thank you.
and Bowery. I was turning there and I had the super cool bike. It was like you said, like not Mad Max, but it was gray. It was an all gray bike.
That's not to correct you, but that silver one that looked futuristic.
No, not that one.
Okay.
It was
He's smoking a lot.
a gray bike,
Isn't he too old for that? He's gonna like destroy his lungs.
but it was like I don't know, something sport or something. It was all detailed with like white highlights and black and silver, and I liked it. It was like a street bike. Then I was turning, same thing, turning, and another car's turning at the same time, and boom!
I'm genuinely concerned for his health.
I got hit, went on the hood of the car, and then fell off because the person hit me, and then they stopped, and then I fell off.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "You okay?" I go, "Yeah, I'm okay."
Yeah.
He goes, I think he asked me, like, you know, if it was his fault, and I go, "I think it's the mutual thing. We were both turning. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. It kind of happened, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And so he left, and my bike was totally fucked.
Wow. I think I remember that one as well.
Yeah, it was like it was trippy. It's weird to get hit, you know. It's just like you get initial shock, and then afterwards, like you have to like assess if you're okay. Like the other time, I mean, when I got the stitches in my leg, I tried to get up, I tried to
for sure.
keep going, and these guys said, "Sit down, you're bleeding." Like, and then I sat back down and I listened to them.
Right.
But,
I got hit by a car on the Bowery as well.
oh yeah,
Yeah. It was
He says that so casually, like it happens like all the time, like normal. It's so funny, actually. It's like, oh, that's normal.
it was probably 2005. I had stayed up all night doing a bunch of nefarious activities in the city, and I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating much, and
Dang, it's 2005. You're in New York. I wonder what you do, man. That sounds crazy, honestly. I'm sure things are changed now. Like, it's probably a different mood, probably a different scene. That's crazy. Can only imagine.
that evening when I was going to walk to the bar to
2005 was a good year, too, by the way.
drink, this is when I was living at that place on Kenmore,
Still before the recession.
and I went to Spring Mart, and I got a bagel toasted with butter because I hadn't been eating, and I thought, all right, no drugs tonight, just whiskey, keep it mellow. So okay, and
Does this guy look like he does drugs? I don't think so. That's crazy.
so I got the bagel to go. It's wrapped up in the tinfoil, and I'm walking up Spring toward Bowery, and it's probably like 8 p.m. and I think it's around this time of year, so it wasn't that cold. And you know, when you're crossing the street, I'm crossing Bowery, and you know, you start veering to the left to go up the curb. You don't just go, you know, especially in New York, you don't just go straight across the crosswalk. And as I was veering to the left, all of a sudden my legs came up from under me, and it was kind of smooth. Like it wasn't like a jolt. Like it was a jolt, but it was almost like I was lifted up by like the hand of God. And then I hit my head on, which I figured out in the moment of it happening, like, oh, this is a car, when I hit my head on the windshield. Then the car skidded, and I shot forward, and I perfectly landed on my feet and turned around, and it was a little Puerto Rican lady in a lowered Honda red Prelude with rims and everything. And I say Puerto Rican because she had a CD hanging from the mirror with a Puerto Rican flag on it, and she was like this, like I'm so sorry. And I said, no, sin Dios míos. My fault, my fault. And she was such a sweet lady, and she rolled her window down, and
He didn't say anything there. He just said Dios míos, but that doesn't even make sense. You just gotta say Dios mío. And then whatever he said before that is gibberish.
and she's saying sorry. I was like, no, 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 Dios míos, it's my fault. And so she left, and it was just funny. And these two white chicks came up, whatever, they were white chicks. They came up and they're like, oh my God, you need to get, did you get her license plate? What the, oh my God, you need to sit down. Are you hurt? Oh my God, we saw it all. We saw it all. Did you get her plate? And I said, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Did you almost put Tim Jackson on blind?
I liked his skating. I wanted him to be on in the video. So
Blind skateboards, I really like them. I think they have like back in like the early 2000s, they were a skateboarding board brand where the boards were like kind of considered to be less quality, maybe like the Walmart version of a board or something like that. You have like a professional version and then like a more I guess lower level version. I don't know how to explain it, but so you would have like maybe a good board would be like a girl skateboards, Baker skateboards, and then it would get like Powell and all these kinds of things, and then there was like Blind, and they would be super discounted, like about $20 cheaper, and like at times those were the option, but to like I like Blind is the graphics on those skateboards that have those like skeletons with the big skeleton heads, and they have the big dark black eyes. That's Blind skateboards. It's like the Reapers, the Grim Reaper like little guy. But I like that company. I like the skaters that they had, and I have nothing really bad to say about Blind. Blind's legit to me. Always will be a legit company to me.
skating was cool. It never happened, you know. I'm not sure why it didn't happen, but yeah, I thought his skating was amazing. I like his style.
I thought he was so incredible when I think it was like Speed Freaks came out in 1990 probably. I'd never seen anybody do what he was doing.
Yeah.
What he was doing on walls and whatnot, it was absolutely incredible. That'd been insane to see him.
Some of that stuff's really good. Like what you just saw, it's pretty crazy. Preferably it would be cooler if there was no hands used to like support your weight, but that's pretty cool anyways.
In that,
Yeah.
that'd have been great.
Yeah, I see people doing like wall rides like 4 feet high.
What now?
They can.
Yes,
Uh,
crazy.
Kind of easy.
there's plenty of modern skateboarding that I do.
There's a certain portion like at my skating when all I would do was wall rides, and what a wall ride is exactly what you hear. It's when the skateboard rides on the wall with all four wheels, and sometimes it's like 3 or 2.5, because it's questionable if that third wheel's on there. But anyways, like, yeah, it's basically going vertical on a 90-degree wall. And I don't know, I got really good at them, and I can go incredibly high. Like, I could use wall rides to get around, basically, like up things. They're a really useful trick to have, going vertical, basically.
Like, but I think that there's something missing.
You get really comfortable with them too, really comfortable.
In the thing of style.
I want to hear what he has to say about this. Actually, I'm very curious.
I think one person that is modern, I think Grant Taylor is kind of an amalgamation of a lot of people that he grew up watching. And Grant was born onto a skateboard, so he's a different example.
Well, I don't like Grant Taylor's style. If anybody has any like rebuttal towards that, I just don't. I don't like his style. I think it's too plain. I never really liked Grant Taylor. I think he's a good skater, of course, but I don't like his style.
And not taking anything away from modern skateboarders, but I suppose this is what is special about style. But like, there's never going to be another Brian Lottie. You don't see, no one skates like that. Henry Sanchez, like, no one skates like that. And I think that, of course, it goes to like, skateboarding was still so new.
Let's talk about wall ride skaters. I mean, I know a few, like personally. But I think like some of the San Francisco guys got their wall rides down. All right, I'm not gonna name names. I think Jake Johnson has a good wall ride. Um, I figured out who Jake Johnson was through Alien Workshop, the Alien Workshop video, Mindfield. Um, some of the New York skaters got their wall rides down. They've been having those down. Like a lot of the frog skateboards guys have their wall rides. So it seems to be this like certain groups of people that really just got it. It's kind of interesting. But I think generally people got a nice wally or a decent wall ride nowadays. It was cool like 2017, 2018 for a good while.
When Henry Sanchez was doing what he was doing, and he was so far in advance that how he looked attempting to do these things that no one ever done, where Henry would go fast and attack shit, and he'd be hanging on.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty in it, where you're like, oh, like he might not make it, but he does make it.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's talking about, and that's like more of an aggressive approach to skateboarding. And like me personally, I really love that approach. Like exactly what he just said, attacking the trick, like this very you're going so fast that there's such a high level of uncertainty and a high chance to mess up your trick, and you somehow make it anyways. Like I've landed a couple things like that in my lifetime, but that's like one of the best feelings, by the way, when you land things like that. But that's cool skateboarding, and it's cool to watch in person, on video. It's pretty passionate. You can tell like the skater themselves are got a lot of heart when they skate like that. That's cool to see.
How sketchiness can actually be beautiful. And it
Yeah.
should be described as sketchiness, but I feel like that's missing today. But who knows? I don't think I pay
Oh,
attention.
you're right. It's nothing is left to chance anymore.
But do you also think it's the fact that it's much like surfers.
See, the thing like that they're talking about is like unpredictability is pretty beautiful when it works out. That's for sure. So it makes sense. Like why does everyone have to be so confined these days on how they approach skateboarding? This sense of unpredictability is more exciting to watch, to do it yourself as well. Um, Imagine if everything just worked out perfectly all the time. It wouldn't be exciting. I think so. It would be kind of dull. So that's kind of the good things of skating, is that you could be like a little crazy, and it's good. It's a good characteristic to go for in your skating.
That grew up in the 70s and the 80s, they you had to ride a single fin first, like a shitty board first.
Well, the thing with the skateboarding is that like in the 70s when people skateboarded, the wheels were bigger, and they would skateboard, and they were going for a ride on the skateboard. And now it's like the skateboard is like they're overpowering the skateboard. It's like
I
no longer you're not going for a ride on the skateboard. You're skating. You're like over controlling it. You know what I mean?
That's true, man.
There is no, there's, it's too, there's no chance anymore. There's no like, you know what I mean? It's like with the bigger wheels rolling, it's just like there's a chance that you're gonna like fall off, but you don't fall off. It's like it's like all it's over like too much. It's just too much control over like you know what I mean? There's no
Yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense. It makes sense what he's saying. But I personally think it's cool that we have this much control because it takes a lot of like practice and diligence to have that kind of control. So I don't really catch what he's saying, but I understand where he's coming from, like his viewpoint. I understand his viewpoint. But at the same time, like, there's a truth to what he says. I kind of lost the thought I was going to say.
there's no element of chance or you know, it's just like they know the outcome. I mean they don't make it and they try a million times to do a trick, but when they do it, there's no like how you said it, Henry Sanchez, where it's like, is he gonna make it? Is he not gonna make it? And then he makes it. You know, it's nothing like that. It's just like, of course he made it. You just
There's no element of surprise, you know, very simple.
tried it a million times.
Right. Right.
You overpower it. It's not like I don't know.
I think a lot of it too comes down to people might think this is ridiculous, but fuck. I think a lot of it is pushing from place to place like we did. Like, you know, I've heard you say that you would push from Southgate to Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And
Well, pushing is good. I mean, pushing. Well, plus when you push a long distance, you're like pushing to get there, which is it's physical.
Pushing is like endurance. That's like how you get from point A to point B. So what happens though is it gets easier and you start to look cooler as you do it, or it looks more, it looks like it's easier for you because it literally is easier. It's a physical aspect. It's like an exercise. You don't look good doing something difficult your first time, but if you do it 100 times, you're gonna look a lot more comfortable. It's very simple.
But once on your way to go someplace, you find other spots along the way, and it makes the trip like sometimes it'll take you super long to get somewhere because you're finding other spots along the way.
right.
And I don't know. I mean, in the city, it's awesome because there's I don't know. I like long distance skating.
I really think too there's something about the development of one style even comes down to like pushing to the bus stop, getting on the bus with your board and holding your board. Remember when you were younger, like you couldn't hold your board like a kook. Like you had to, like it was your thing, like that.
So pretty much he's saying like how you carry yourself overall as a person, like how you walk, how you talk, all contributes to your style in skating. Because at the end of the day, people have that mental image of you, of how you move around on foot, off a skateboard, on a skateboard. This all contributes to how people see you as. So it makes sense what he's saying, 100%. I can't believe like this is so nuanced based right now. I've never really like I never thought I would be talking about this. But it's kind of cool that they're bringing this stuff to attention.
That was it was like it was like your armor and your protection and all that. And I think the relationship with your
Oh yeah, a skateboard is a weapon, 100%. That's a good protection. He's not wrong. 100%.
skateboard, and also when we were younger, that board was your board. That one was your for a while.
Yeah.
For quite a while.
But things change, you know, and they stay the same because young skaters today they take the bus, you know. It's like
And I mean a weapon if need be, not like on some stupid stuff. All right.
Of course.
or they take the subway and they get out. It trips me out when I see people pushing down the street super fast. I'm just like, wow, they got it. Like they're doing it.
Right, right, right.
And they might not be on like a modern skateboard, but just watching their controller, like how they're going and like they're going through traffic and stuff. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. So uh yeah, in a way things change, but in other ways they're still the same. It's like, you know, in the 80s or yeah.
When I was a child, when I was maybe 9 or 10, the first time I saw you, I was in, I think, the Ralphs on Warner with my mother, and you might have been like 17 or 18. And at the time, for me, when I saw you, it was the most incredible thing of being new to skateboarding. And, you know, I was already hanging out with Ed Templeton, and his name wasn't even Templeton then. You still had his dad's name, Ed Herring. But those older guys put me onto you, and then I started looking at magazines, and then you quickly became the beacon for what I regarded as great skateboarding. Of course, I had pictures of Hosoi on my wall too, but just the photo of you and Νοῦς doing the wall ride together, and just so many epic photos. The photo of you at Jimmy Arrigui's ramp doing the frontside air, but using the mannequin hand to grab was just brilliant, and I
Wait,
thought
that's
so
that's
creative
really
and
cool.
great. So I hate the word favorite, but you've always been my favorite skateboarder. And I think we can have favorite skateboarders because of the years and just the emotions that someone else doing something skateboarding and how it affects you in your own personal skateboarding. But you did this is way before anyone did any shit like this. You did a slappy 50-50 up to slappy 50-50. I think it was in Paris on the
Yeah.
round bar, in a round bar.
Yeah.
Screw it. My favorite skateboarder, Taylor Nita. I'm gonna say it right now. Best skateboarder. Pretty much best style. I saw him 360 over a garbage can using a ramp. Like in person, and yeah, that's the best skateboarder. Amazing style, great flow. That's my favorite.
Did Fred
That opinion has not changed over the years.
film that? Did a really young Fred Mortang film that?
I don't remember, but I remember seeing the spot and thinking like, oh, I got to do that, and then I did it. I was like, I couldn't believe I did it.
But that footage looks like that. It doesn't look like you got away with it or it was easy, but it was so far ahead of its time. The way you do it, and I'll show the clip, but the way you do it looks like it caught some sort of magic, like, holy shit, you weren't supposed to be able to do that. So there's that, the kickflip at the bank, the money bank on Beach Boulevard between the bars. I think that was then kicked out of everywhere.
Yeah, that was hard too. That took a lot of tries.
Fucking insane. No
That's crazy.
one has ever done anything like that to this day. That was so. I've gone to that bank. I used to skate all over. You know, living behind the beach, you cover all of Beach Boulevard. I knew every inch of that place. And when I saw that, it was just, I still can't believe you did that. And so I wanted to, just these 3 clips I wanted to show. And then the nose slide, tail slide that you did on the 2 barriers next to each other in that 4-star promo
Yeah.
that's so gnarly. You could have got so fucked up. It was so rad.
That one was corny, I think.
No way. See, that's the thing. I love that. You think it was corny, but it's something. It's
If that was filmed with a fisheye, I think that would have looked really good too.
like you can't pinpoint much of anyone in this world who's more skateboarding more than I've seen every fucking interview. I've seen every video you put out on YouTube. By the way, I think the way that you do the YouTube is so epic because there's so much corny YouTube of like, and who cares what people are doing, but there's so much people like doing the YouTube with their face in the thing as a thumbnail and like, hey, watch me eat 100 tacos and fucking, you know, I just your YouTube is so it's almost I know you do it from knowing you. I know that you do YouTube based on this is what I want to do, and this is just it's almost like you're not doing it for anyone but yourself, which I think is so great. And there's only one clip I've really ever seen of you painting, and it's from quite a long time ago. And not that you would want to do this, but I find so much enjoyment in watching that one clip of you painting. You're painting this one painting on the ground. You're laying down painting it. And it's just interesting that that's the only clip of you painting. But again, your YouTube is almost an anti audience. It's just like it's so. But then you pulled in Stephen Westerberg and all your stuff. But going back to it, what you said about the no side tail side, for someone who's enjoyed your skateboarding and watched it more than most any other person, I would say, it's funny how that one trick sticks out in my head, and you're like, oh, that one's kind of corny.
No, but I mean, I mean, everybody likes what they like, you know.
Of course, no, and I love that. That's an
Uh, it was just a coincidence that the two things were lined up, and it was perfect. It just kind of happened.
Well, Mark, again, I appreciate your time, and we'll wrap it up with this. You got a show coming up in Tokyo with our friend Izumi at her gallery, and that's May 8th, right?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. How do you feel about the you've shown me a bit of the? Is it all right if I show a couple of pictures from what you've shown me so far?
Yeah, sure. I made a post with my pictures though. YouTube took it down. The content wasn't wasn't acceptable. I mean, there's people peeing and pooping, so they weren't into it. So I took it down.
No,
I think when I post this video, they're gonna take it down. That's what I'm worried about.
it's like I'm glad that there's this with all the trouble going on in the world and there's a whole group of
you know, like genuinely, art is not meant for every eye out there. Like it's certain art is just not meant for everybody to see it. It doesn't need to be on YouTube, you know, all the time. It doesn't need to be on Instagram. It can be wherever it's accepted, I suppose.
corporations making sure we don't have any profanity of any sort.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I mean, it's a whatever. So they took it down.
Hey, if you're taking it down, you're doing a good job. If the cops show up, you know you're really doing a good job.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited about the art show. I'm working on it. I'm painting. Hopefully it goes well.
I like what you've sent so far. I always appreciate it, and I always, for the audience, this is you and me talking. You know this already, but Mark will send me a clip of him skating in the middle of the daytime, and I'm just always so blown away and dumbfounded of your ability and how you keep doing it, and it's really incredible. And I love thinking about the trajectory of you and knowing you for so long and knowing you in bad times as you've known me in bad times and known each other in good and bad times. But it's been so great.
That's a real friend when you got like your ups and downs, but you're still friends. That's crazy right there. That's crazy.
To watch someone I've looked up to for so long and who's inspired. I hate the word inspired, but truly just done things in different avenues, which has totally affected so many things in my career and doing art and whatever. But I love to see your success.
Like sometimes friends will have like one falling off, like, you know, a good argument, and then it's done. But if you can get past those like arguments, that's crazy. Honestly, big ups to you. I mean, I've definitely let a lot of people go over some stupid stuff.
And I
don't have like the patience, you know, for stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm so glad for you. You know, it's like,
thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how times change. I mean, it seems like just yesterday we were messing around in the streets in New York City. Uh, Time goes by so quick.
Wait, you can do that?
Actually, some solid stuff in here.
That was it!
Hey, you look fantastic. Have a
Thank
good
you.
show. Uh,
All
uh,
right,
and I'll see you soon, Mark. Thanks.
all right, thank you.
Get this hobo off my screen. Alright, so that was interesting. I think I've seen enough. I just wanted to react to this video, and I think these guys are artists. You know, they're not just skateboarders, and they've got a lot of interesting things to say. And I wanted to um, sort of give my perspective on them and my input. All right, appreciate it. Peace out.